Sophie Cunningham goes in the post-game press conference and confirms what we've all known all along.
We've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own islands.
This locker room is split, and she uses the term different islands going on in this locker room.
Sophie literally says, there's a little thing going on in the locker room.
That's not good. That's not good to hear.
When a team's locker room breaks, the sound doesn't stay inside. It echoes across the entire league. Just 2 minutes ago, Sophie Cunningham said what everyone else was thinking. The Indiana Fever locker room isn't the same anymore, and the one left most alone in all of it is Caitlin Clark. This is a story of tension, silent rivalries, and a rift that's tearing the Fever apart from the inside. Get ready, because this isn't just about one game. This is the real drama of the entire season. Every team has a locker room, a space where strategies are formed, emotions overflow, and silence can often scream louder than words. But when someone from the outside dares to break that silence, everything changes. This story starts with one single comment, a passing line in an interview that ignited a firestorm inside the Indiana Fever franchise. And the voice behind it was Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham, the sharpshooter from the Phoenix Mercury, known for her gritty play, fiery attitude, and her refusal to filter her thoughts. On the court, she's relentless. Off the court, she's raw, direct, and unafraid. But when she spoke about Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever locker room, she didn't just spark conversation, she triggered a league-wide reckoning. It's obvious, something is wrong in that locker room, she said. It's not just about losing games, it's about a lack of chemistry. And I feel bad for Caitlin. Just one sentence. But it hit like a sledgehammer. At first glance, it felt like just another opinion. But if you looked closer, if you'd been watching the Fever this season the way fans and insiders have, you'd know Sophie wasn't guessing. She was confirming what people had already begun to fear. She's seen the same clips we all have. Caitlin Clark getting ignored after making smart passes, left out of huddles, high fives missed, even celebrations that felt more like indifference. Something's off, and Sophie wasn't shy about calling it out. The reaction: immediate. Social media went wild. YouTube exploded with reaction videos. Caitlin is being iced out trended on X. Fans started breaking down body language like it was game tape. Sports analysts debated it live on TV. Some backed Sophie, applauding her honesty, calling her brave. Others accused her of stirring the pot, chasing headlines, creating unnecessary drama. But the most telling reaction: silence. No one from Indiana Fever spoke out against Sophie. Coach denied it. No teammate stood up to say, that's not true. Nothing. Just a long, awkward, telling silence. And sometimes silence tells you everything. To understand how we got here, we need to rewind a bit. Before the WNBA season began, Caitlin Clark was the story. The No. 1 draft pick. College basketball's golden child. A record-breaking scorer. A media phenomenon. Fans couldn't wait to see her in the pros. Nike gave her a deal. Cameras followed her every move. For many, she wasn't just the future of the WNBA, she was the hope. But that spotlight didn't tone, just shine. It burned. Inside that Fever locker room were players who had been grinding in the league for years. Veterans who'd earned their stripes quietly, without fanfare. And now, here comes Caitlin, a rookie, surrounded by hype, attention, and endorsements most of them never received. The jealousy, maybe unspoken, but definitely there. Then the games began, okay? And people noticed things. Caitlin would hit a deep three, and the bench barely reacted, okay? She'd take a hard foul, and no teammate came to her defense. Timeout, huddles would form, and she'd be standing outside the circle. Over and over, game after game, the same pattern repeated. Clips started going viral. Fans zoomed in on cold shoulders, side eyes, and isolation. Theories exploded. Is she disliked? Are her teammates freezing her out? Is there resentment? But it was just speculation until Sophie said it out loud. And that's why her comment hit so hard. Because deep down, people already suspected it. She just gave it a voice. Now, people were asking the real question. Is Kate
Really concerned anything that Sophie Cunningham said?
I think that we've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own island.
It's been a disaster. The good teams can keep the locker room together.
Is Caitlin Clark being treated unfairly? Or is this just the natural clash that comes when superstardom walks into a blue-collar locker room? Let's be honest, Caitlins. Arrival wasn't just about basketball. It was about culture, about change, about a new era of visibility for the WNBA. And not everyone's ready for that. Not everyone wants the camera on someone else, especially someone who hasn't paid her dues in the same way. So when Sophie spoke up, she didn't start a fire. She pointed to the smoke that was already filling the room. And now that smoke can't be ignored. What happens next? That's the real drama, because locker rooms are fragile. Trust is fragile. And a rookie under this much pressure, surrounded by silence, suspicion. And a team unsure how to handle her fame is walking a tightrope every single game. This isn't just about one quote. This is about a foundation that may already be cracking. And the question now isn't what's going on. It's how much longer can it hold together? When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, she didn't just arrive, she landed like a meteor. The cameras followed her from the moment she left Iowa. Fans lined up wearing her college jersey. Interviews, sponsorships, late-night talk shows, everything that usually takes years to earn, she already had. The league knew she was special. America knew. And maybe that's where the pressure really began. Because stardom isn't armor. Sometimes it makes you more exposed. On paper, she's a dream rookie. Tall, sharp, elite shooting range, and the kind of court vision that makes even seasoned defenders nervous. But in a league like the WNBA, where players are often underappreciated, underpaid, and under the radar, Caitlin's entrance didn't just shake things up. It disrupted an entire culture. She was the headline before she ever played a minute. And in a sport where respect is often earned the hard way, blood, sweat, years of grind, that kind of early stardom can be both a gift and a curse. From the first game, the attention was insane. Every fever match that used to be just another game on the schedule was now a national event. Arena tickets sold out. Ratings spiked. People who had never watched women's basketball were now watching. But for Caitlin, that attention came with a quiet kind of isolation, because inside that locker room, she wasn't just the rookie, she was the outsider. There's a moment from one of her early games that fans still talk about. She got fouled. Hard. Elbow to the ribs landed on her side. The arena gasped. She got up slowly, holding her stomach. And not a single teammate came to check on her. No arm around the shoulder, no concerned glance. Just nothing. She walked to the free throw line alone. It didn't go unnoticed. Fans started asking, why does it feel like she's not part of the team? That moment wasn't the only one. Game after game, body language told its own story. She'd dish out a no-look pass, and it would be fumbled. Teammates didn't celebrate her shots the way other rookies get celebrated. Timeouts. She was often seen standing on the edges of the huddle. And in post-game interviews, when asked about team chemistry, she always smiled politely. But her eyes told a different story. Because here's the truth. No one wants to say out loud. Not everyone in that locker room wanted her there. It's not personal. It's not even about skill. It's about the system. Caitlin Clark walked into a team that was already struggling. They didn't just need points. They needed leadership, cohesion, balance. And instead, they got a media circus. Every question in pressers was about her. Every camera was pointed at her. And slowly, players who had been trying to build something of their own began to feel invisible. And Caitlin, she felt it. She's young, just 22, but she's smart. Smart enough to know when the energy in the room shifts. Smart enough to feel when the handshakes stop, when the small talk dies, when the looks change. She's not just a baller. She's a human being. And walking into a space where you feel unwanted is brutal, no matter how famous you are. She tried to adapt. You could see it in her play style. Started passing more, taking fewer wild shots, playing within the system. But even that didn't always work. Because it's hard to win over people who already feel like you're being handed. The keys to the kingdom. Veterans in the WNBA aren't like the NBA. They don't live in a world of $200 million contracts and shoe deals. Many of them play overseas in the off-season just to make ends meet. So when a rookie walks in with a Nike deal, ESPN coverage, and a personal security guard, it does.
Caitlin Clark is the star player of the WNBA.
The most popular woman ever in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark.
Some people are already talking about trade possibilities. Others are saying it's just rookie growing pains. But everyone is watching. And Caitlin, she's still showing up every game, every practice, every media appearance. Still gives 100%. Still encourages teammates. Still signs autographs after games. Even when she looks completely drained. Because that's who she is. She's not here to complain. She's here to compete. But even the strongest competitors have a breaking point. And the question now is, how? Long before this pressure, this silence, this emotional isolation begins to wear her down. Because being iced out hurts. But being iced out when you're also the face of a franchise, maybe even the league, that's a different kind of pain. And that's the fire Caitlin Clark is walking through. Right now, the truth is, locker rooms don't break overnight. It's never one argument, one player, or one moment. It's a slow build, a silent unraveling of trust, respect, and connection. And right now, inside the Indiana Fever, something is quietly falling apart. From the outside, it's easy to miss. The team smiles for media day, does the post-game interviews, keeps things professional. But when you zoom in, when you really pay attention, the cracks are hard to ignore. And those cracks, they aren't just about Caitlin Clark. They go deeper, because this isn't just about one rookie walking into the spotlight. It's about a team that was already fragile, already frustrated, already carrying the weight of unmet expectations long before Caitlin ever walked through that door. The Indiana Fever have been in rebuild mode for years. Loss after loss, season after season, trying to find an identity, trying to find leadership, trying to matter again. And then came the miracle, the no. One draft pick. Caitlin Clark. The hope. The face. The savior. But here's the problem. When you build all your hope around one player, it doesn't just put pressure on her. It puts pressure on everyone else to dot players like Aaliyah Boston. The 2023 no. One pick herself suddenly found the spotlight moving away. Last year, she was the future. This year, she's the supporting cast. Same with Kelsey Mitchell, a veteran, who's been carrying the offensive load for seasons without much recognition. These aren't role players. These are stars in their own right. And now they're being asked to adjust not just their play, their place. And when players feel like their value is being questioned, when the system bends around someone new, resentment starts to creep in, slow, quiet, but very real. You can see it in the body language. The way huddles form without certain players. It's the way eyes avoid contact during bad stretches. It's the way no one steps in when a teammate is shoved to the floor. It's subtle. It's unspoken. But it's there, even. During good moments, something feels off. There was a game recently where the Fever won, a hard-fought, emotional win. Cameras caught the bench, erupting, high fives flying, energy buzzing. But when Caitlin walked toward the celebration, you could almost see the energy shift. Not hostile, not cold, but awkward. She joined the group, but not fully. It was like stepping into someone else's birthday party invited. but not the reason anyone showed up. And that awkwardness isn't just on the court. It's all over social media in today's world. Players don't just communicate with words, they communicate with likes, retweets, comments, and silence. And right now, Caitlin Clark's teammates are saying a lot without saying anything. At All Dot, there are moments where she posts a big play or a highlight clip and none of her teammates engage. Meanwhile, those same teammates are resharing each other's content, hyping up one another's plays, showing public love. The absence around Caitlin is loud. And then there's the unfollowing. Rumors began swirling that one or more Fever players unfollowed Clark on Instagram. Fans noticed. Screenshots circulated. And while players never confirmed anything, they also never denied it. Then there are the cryptic posts, vague song lyrics, own word captions, emotional reels that don't name names but drop just enough context to make fans speculate. All of this adds up to one thing: a locker room that is far from unified. The coaching staff has been quiet. It's too quiet. No public statements about team unity. No pressers where chemistry is addressed. Nothing to settle the growing noise. And when leaders are silent, chaos fills the gap. It raises the question, who is the real leader in that locker room? Is it the coach? Because right now, her voice is missing from the conversation. Is it Aaliyah Boston, the former? No. One pick with poise and maturity. Possibly, but she's been distant too. Is it Caitlin? Not yet. She's still finding her footing. She's not the type to call players out or lead a huddle like she owns the room. Not while she's still navigating her own survival. So what you're left with is a room full of talented players with no real connection. And that's dangerous. Because you can have talent. You can have scorers. You can have shooters. But if you don't have trust, your team is just a group of individuals wearing the same jersey. Look at other great teams. Their chemistry shows up in the small things. A look across the court, a high five after a missed shot, picking each other up off the hardwood. These little moments build momentum, build identity, build team. Indiana doesn't have that right now. And it's not because they don't care. It's because they haven't healed. There's too much baggage, too much change, too much pressure, too fast. This wasn't supposed to be a perfect season, but it also wasn't supposed to unravel like this. Even WNBA veterans and legends have started weighing in. Sue Bird hinted at the generational divide. Diana Tauras's infamous reality check. Comment may have been tough love, but it reflected the tension veterans feel when young stars come in crowned. Before they've played a full quarter, it's not hate. It's not sabotage. It's the discomfort of change. Caitlin Clark doesn't just represent a new player. She represents a new era. One where media hype trumps locker room hierarchy. One where brand power sometimes outweighs experience. And that shift. It's not easy for everyone. The Fever need leadership now more than ever. Not just coaching, not just strategy. They need someone to step into that room and pull everyone together. To remind them that they're all on the same side, even if the spotlight shines brighter on one, because if they don't, it's only going to get worse. The fans can feel the tension. The media is picking up on the silence. And the players, whether they admit it or not, are emotionally exhausted. If this continues, it won't just cost them games, it'll cost them their identity. And once a team loses its identity, everything else falls apart with it. It's not just about one comment anymore. Not just about chemistry issues. Not just about one rookie struggling to fit in. It's bigger than that now. What started as whispers and post-game threads and social media sides has grown into a national conversation, a team under the microscope, a locker room under pressure, and a rookie superstar walking a tightrope between fame and frustration. The Indiana Fever are at a crossroads. On one side, have the most watched rookie in WNBA history, a player who's already moved the needle in ways no one imagined. On the other side, they have a fractured foundation, a locker room teetering on the edge of silence, subtle resentment, and something dangerously close to collapse. The fallout is everywhere. Game after game, the tension lingers. Analysts are no longer just breaking down X's and O's, they're reading body language. Fans are split into sides. The protect Caitlyn at all costs camp, and the she hasn't earned it yet crowd. Every missed pass, every cold glance, every moment of hesitation becomes a headline. But beneath all the noise, one question remains. Can this team be saved? Can the Fever pull themselves back from the brink? Because what they're dealing with now isn't just a chemistry issue, it's an identity crisis. Right now, the Indiana Fever don't seem to know who they are. Are they Caitlyn's team? Are they Aaliyah Boston's team? Are they a rebuilding franchise looking for unity, or a brand machine riding a marketing wave? They're trying to be all of those things, and in the process, they're becoming none of them. And the coach? Well, her silence has become louder than any press conference. Fans want answers, leadership, direction, but what they're getting is vague. Quotes about growth and adjustment periods, no accountability, no confrontation. Just vague optimism that feels more like deflection than direction. Meanwhile, the locker room continues to simmer. Sources close to the team have hinted that it's not all sunshine behind the scenes. That players are frustrated, that meetings have gotten tense, a trust whatever little was left is slipping away. And Caitlyn, she's doing what she always does, showing up, playing hard, taking the hits, smiling when needed. But behind those post-game smiles is someone clearly carrying more than just the weight of rookie mistakes. She's carrying the burden of being the face, while not feeling fully accepted by the team. She's supposed to lead. That's not just hard. That's isolating. And here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. It's not sustainable.
Clark is the needle. Caitlyn is box office.
Caitlyn Clark is the star. Everything else is wrapped around her, and everything else is revolving around her. She's Rookie of the Year in the WNBA.
Option 1. Leadership steps in. The coach or the GM takes control of the situation. Honest conversations happen. Players clear the air. Roles are redefined. Trust is slowly rebuilt. This is the most mature route, but also the hardest. It requires humility from veterans, emotional maturity from rookies, and a willingness to put ego aside for the greater good. Option 2. Roster changes. Whether fans want to admit it or not, this kind of tension often leads to trades. Someone gets moved. Not because they're bad players, but because the culture isn't clicking. The coaching staff believes Caitlyn is the future, and she clearly is. Then the organization might begin restructuring the team around her. That could mean letting go of players who aren't buying into the vision. It might mean choosing between personalities rather than skill sets. Harsh, yes. But this is professional sports. Chemistry matters. Option 3. Caitlyn leaves. Not now. Maybe not even next season. If things don't change, if she continues. To feel iced out, unsupported, emotionally isolated, the long-term writing is on the wall. Every athlete, no matter how talented, needs a team that has their back. And if she doesn't feel that in Indiana, well, other franchises are watching very closely. Imagine Caitlyn Clark on a team where she's celebrated, protected, and surrounded by veterans who want to win with her, not in spite of her. That dream isn't far-fetched, and it might become very real if the Fever don't. Take action, but the story doesn't have to end in bitterness. There's still time. Time for the Fever to course correct. To find leaders within the team who can bridge the divide. To build chemistry, not just with handshakes and hugs, but with shared sacrifice, communication, and respect. This team is young, inexperienced, yes, but talented. And if they can find a way to rally around the bigger picture, the legacy they could build together, then this messy beginning could still turn into a powerful journey. Caitlyn Clark doesn't need to be handed anything. She's earned her name. She's earned her numbers. She's earned her fans. But what she does need, what every player needs, is a locker room where she doesn't have to shrink herself to be accepted, and her teammates. They need to feel valued too. not overshadowed, not disposable. Because every winning team in history, from the Bulls to the Warriors to the Aces, found a way to balance superstardom with solidarity. The Fever aren't there yet, but the season isn't over. They've been broken, exposed, questioned, but maybe that's exactly what they needed. Because sometimes you have to hit the bottom before you figure out how to rise. So now the spotlight is back on Indiana. Not just to win games, okay? But to prove they can be more than drama. More than a fractured team with a superstar problem. They have a choice: stay divided or grow together. And as the cameras roll and the fans watch and the league leans in, the next move belongs to them. So, what do you think? Is this just rookie growing pains? Or is something seriously broken inside the Indiana Fever? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't hold back. Is Caitlin Clark being iced out or just misunderstood? And if you want more raw, real stories like this, the drama behind the highlights, the tension behind the smiles, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. 'Cause we're not done digging yet. This isn't just a basketball story. This is the story that could change the WNBA forever.
Sophie Cunningham, in the post-game interview, speaks on this team and the islands within the locker room.